Yeah, so Ellie, talk to us about the injury. If you haven't already realised, Ellie, isn't playing, and it is due to an injury, not for not being selected. So yeah, talk us through where it is on your body, how you feel.
So I've picked up a bit of a hamstring injury. Went for a scan post game. Obviously played the full game against Scotland as well, but since then I've picked up a little bit of an injury. That's just going to keep me out, hopefully until pre-season when we're back in for World Cup. World Cup prep, yeah. Obviously gutted to not be playing this weekend. But I think, we spoke about it a little bit earlier. I think, it's been such a long season and something had to go, like something had to break because I've been going and going and going. And yes, I'm very, very sad not to be, being involved in the Grand Slam decider, but we're still very much going to be there, being in camp this week, being around the girls and supporting them as much as I can do. But genuinely just gutted, probably a little bit numb and haven't really digested it yet, but looking forward to an off season of a bit of rehab if we're in another country.
Do you think that it's like I believe that your body tells you when you need a rest, and like, do you think that this is your body's way of saying, like, okay, Ellie, like you've done a lot since, pre-Olympics, and you haven't really had a break? Like, do you think that this is your body going, okay, there's something big coming in August, September? Like, yes, you have 5 weeks off, but actually, I think I want to give you a little bit more. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely think it is. Like I just said, it's been such a long 2 years, and I've made so many memories, accomplished so much more than I think I could have ever done, or ever imagined to. And yeah, it is kind of my body just saying, right, it's time to rest now. And I thoroughly enjoyed the games that I've been involved in up until this point, made so many learnings. And I guess that's why I was so excited for this weekend, because I've learned so much in the games that I've been involved in that I was ready to tie it all together and then learn something new going into a World Cup cycle. But yeah, I just think that, people can only go for so long. And yeah, I probably did need this break, and I probably didn't know that I needed it until I broke down. But it's just, it just feels sad. It feels like I feel disappointed for the team and gutted for the team. I know obviously Emma Singh's going to be playing 15 this weekend, and she's going to do such a good job. But I also, I want to be able to keep on giving to them and keep on supporting the people that are on the pitch with me. And although this is nothing about singers, because singers can do the exact same thing, if not more, in her own way, it almost felt like my duty to give as much as I can do to support the girls into hopefully winning another Grand Slam. But it's now just going to be shouting on the sidelines and losing my voice.
Do you think that you have done that differently this week? So obviously you found out the news on Tuesday. Sorry, I'll give my tale of the story. So go into camp on Tuesday morning. That's when team selection comes out. Everyone knows, individually before that like meeting, but you don't know obviously other people unless you speak to other people. So I walked in, and then we do some awards from the Scotland game, and then we go into team selection, and the role of the girls that aren't selected is called pillars. And Ellie popped up on that section, obviously with myself, and I was like, what the hell is going on? And I looked around, and
I hadn't spoken to you.
No one else's face. Not was shocked. Not that this isn't anything to do with Emma Singh. She has played outstandingly well in the PWR all season, and I think it's been tough choices for Mitch to select you over her. So this is nothing against her, but I was looking around the room and I thought, I can't see anyone's face. No one's face changed. No one looked. I was like, have I missed something? Like, have I actually missed something? I was like, what is going on? And I think I was sat next to May Campbell. And again, she hadn't been in camp. She went, why is Ellie not playing? I went, I don't know. I don't know. I said, I know as much as you. Anyway, then the team came out, and I was like, again, no one was shocked or anything. And then we get put into groups to talk about the week and stuff. And obviously Ellie comes into the pillars, which she's probably never really been a part of that much. So anyway,
I don't actually think I have.
Yeah, so I said, welcome, Ellie. And I went, what the hell is wrong with you? And she went, it's my hamstring. I went, oh, God. Because I like kind of thought, oh, maybe it's rotation. Again, it's a lot of games leading up to the World Cup and giving singers that opportunity to play in a big game. I think is good, just in case something, ever happened to you. So I thought it was maybe that. And then when you said that, I was like, are you okay?
I know, you sat on your knee, didn't I?
Yeah. And she sat on my knee like a little baby and we had like a little deep conversation. But sorry, going back to it, your role as a pillar this week, so it's a bit different.
Yeah.
I see you got your camera out, which
I did. It's
been
a little while.
I actually had it for the whole week because it was in my rucksack, so I should have snapped some pics, but I didn't.
Well, the thing is, when obviously I found the results out, I kind of had an option whether I go home for the rest of the week on that Tuesday evening and then obviously just go to the game in the weekend. But not one bit of me wanted to go home. I wanted to stay around the girls. I know the best place for me right now is being in that camp setting, not just for, the girls that are around me, but the physio support that I've got. And we keep on banging about the culture on this podcast. And that, I think, that's something that's definitely helped this week with hearing news. Obviously, I didn't want to hear, but then still being part of a culture that I feel so supported in. And I haven't, felt alone in that. And I think that's something that can always happen with injuries is you suddenly feel isolated. And, I've been doing rehab. I haven't necessarily been with the whole team the whole time, but I've always had like glimpses where I am still there. And going back to my camera, I think I watched the first session. And for listeners at home, I think something that I've realised over the past few months, we're talking about something needed to kind of go. And I think I've probably not known that I'm running on fumes a little bit because, I'm still loving my rugby. I'm still playing well. I'm still lifting heavy in the gym and I don't feel tired, but I haven't been taking photos. And so many people keep saying to me, my mum said to me, you've not been taking photos recently. And that really made me think maybe that's like something that I didn't realise has stopped that creativity thing.
Well, maybe you hadn't really switched off.
Yeah. Like I've just been locked in on this tournament and that's okay to do that. But I haven't been taking photos. And the reason that Jess had it, I actually thought in Ireland, I was like, I'm going to take some photos today. Went out and it was out of charge. So I was passing Jess, gave it to her, but haven't gone to get it back off of you. But watched that first session on the first day and then just realised I can't properly focus on what's going on. So I asked for my camera from Jess and I think I got one of the media team's cameras as well. And from then I was at the session like taking photos of the girls and I was locked in. I was helping the back three out a little bit with some things that I've learned from the past few games and, little cheat codes where it looks like something on the board where there's a certain move, but if I found a little hack how to get to a certain place on the pitch a little bit quicker, going through some of the backfield with singers as well with France coming up. So I've definitely been able to be involved in the group and that's definitely helped me. And where this time could be like sad, isolating, whatever it is, I've actually been able to really stay a part of something very special because this weekend could be something very special.
Yeah. Are you going to share the photos?
Alfie's got them. I don't have them. Our media guy's got them. I said you can just tag me. I got some nice ones of Simi and Abby. I said you can definitely go on their Hinge profile or something like that.
Wow.
They were really good.
Ellie is obviously a very good photographer, but she's a very bad sharer.
I am a very bad sharer.
But also she hates it when people go, can I have them? Can I have the photos? She's like, well, but I haven't taken them for your pleasure. I've taken them for mine. And I'm like,
I normally
but if they're good, I want them.
I'll tell you what it is, because I'll take photos and if I've taken them on my small camera, they're really easy, put them up and stuff. But I use Lightroom, which is like an editing like with the light and stuff. So then if I put all of the photos in something and then I use one where I've altered the lighting just a little bit, then that's not the best version of it and I have to send them all separately. Yeah. So I am pretty bad at it, but Alfie's got them so you can message him, not me. Anyway, that's enough of me. I'm sure we'll hear much about this in media and stuff anyway with being injured and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, obviously you're not involved.
That's such a word vomit, sorry. Really good segue, that one. Yeah.
But obviously you're not involved this week
nope.
either, unfortunately. How did that like feel, the process? Where are you at with it?
So Mitch rang me on Monday to tell me the news. God, it sounds like I've lost my job, but sorry.
I thought you were about to cry then.
Yeah, no. And I knew it was coming. You know when you've got like that gut feeling, sorry, this is such bad correlation. You know when you're with your boyfriend and you think, oh, I know he's done the dirty. Do you know what I mean? Like that gut feeling.
You got telling you something.
You know, like I knew prior to that call that I wasn't going to be in the team. And I've had a lot of conversations, a lot of people asking, our producer asking, you know, do you want to talk about it? Like, what is it? Blah, blah, blah. And there's no real reason to why I am okay with it. I just think that I don't believe that I've been the best version of Jess Breach within this campaign. And so I wouldn't pick myself either.
Okay.
So I'm okay with it. I think Claude and Abby have played well in the campaign and they deserve to play. You know, you can't. I've spoken a lot to Archie about it, and I would struggle to pick a winger that hasn't scored. Not saying that that's solely my job, but you want finishers, and I haven't produced that yet in this campaign, or I'm going to produce that. Yes, I've had 2 disallowed tries, so would the conversation be different? Who knows if they were on the score sheet? But I think I have to look back to October when I got the news about my hip, and I said on the podcast, I just want to get back playing. I want to be in the Six Nations squad. I want to play in an England jersey, and I've been able to do that. So I've ticked what I wanted to achieve.
You should be proud of that as well.
Yeah, exactly. And the Ireland game was my 6th game of rugby since October. So like I can't be that hard on myself, I don't think. And like, you know, we've spoken about that August, September is the goal. And yes, I would have loved to have played at Allianz Stadium against France, like Grand Slam decider, like no brainer. Everyone wants to play, like you included. But now's not the time. Like I think the universe is telling me that I need to go away and work on some things that maybe I'd moved away from. Like I think I had a really good conversation with Mitch, and this is now I'm being very raw and honest around my 1v1 game. And he was like, you've been brilliant at kicking the ball through, which is something that like I've developed and learned and trained to do, you know, like the ones that you drop over the line, but it's fine.
I knew that was coming.
But that's something that I've brought to my game, but I think but it's made me move away from something that I'm brilliant at. Yeah. And it's not that like I want to be selfish and then take people on and not put the balls in for you, but actually it's deciding what is the best decision in that moment. And I think that's, you know, something that I'm going to go away and work on in the pre-season is do a lot of 1v1s, do a lot of, you know, hard shoulder tackling. Like Arch has been like, we can do this together. And I thought, I don't want to tackle you, but it's fine.
Put the shoulder pads on.
Get the shoulder pads on. But like I want to be in a really good headspace, and I'm not sure if I felt that going in to this campaign, that I was in a good headspace. Not that I didn't enjoy it. I've loved it, and I like I say, I love the environment, but I'm not sure that I felt the confidence that I have felt being at Sarries compared to being at England. I did feel the pressure this time, but I think that's because I hadn't played a lot of minutes.
I was going to say,
I hadn't played a lot of rugby. It was really quick. Like, so I think I felt a lot, which for the first time I think then did affect my performance. So I think it's been tough, but it's not something that I haven't done or dealt with before. Yeah. So we spoke about being a pillar prior, you being a pillar for the first time. And that is someone that is in the squad that's not in the match day 23. And you basically support the team. So you're like the foundation, you're the pillars that help the team get to the place that they need to be at the weekend. Yeah. And I actually love being a pillar.
You get to play like the other team.
You get to play like the other team.
Play like France, not bad.
Yeah, you don't you like sometimes if it's like a rush defence and you absolutely fly out the line, not that you get told off at England anyway, but like it's not
our system.
It's not our system. So you get to do other systems and you think, God, I wouldn't want to play in that system. Or I'd love to do that. Or like even moves where we've trained this week and we thought, that's a good move.
Yeah, well,
maybe we're going to take that.
I heard that. So obviously I was taking photos, and I think the pillars ran a move that France have shown before, and the girls that were playing on the England side were like, we like that move.
Yeah.
Like, we might need to adapt this move into our playbook, which, I think, I actually was going to have a conversation with you, because I have heard not just from like one person this week, because people have obviously been wanting to check in on me, but also check in on you, and they've asked me, how's Jess getting on? And I've said, look, I've not seen her that much, but
it's been a really, really disappointing friend. She has not been there for me this week.
I haven't really seen you, but they said, well, like, she seems like she's in a good place, and the way that she has been round the group has been so energizing, and I think that's just credit to, being able to emotionally regulate some news that isn't easy to hear, but then how important you are to the foundation of the England squad that's going to go out there in the weekend. And it is something that, you have to go on a journey of working out how to digest information and how to regulate your emotions. And I think the way that you've come into this week, and I've noticed it as well, is almost whether you've got battles, and you're going to have battles away from the pitch, away from, the camp setting, but you wouldn't have known that you weren't even in that 23 squad. And that definitely supports everyone around you and brings the best out of them. And obviously we recognise that it's tough for everybody in different ways, and, having people around you away from that time is something that's very important. But the way that you've shown up this week is definitely going to be a part of how the girls perform in the weekend. So you should definitely pat yourself on the back.
Yeah, that's very kind of you to say. Well, I think I'd like to just give myself other jobs. So, like, for instance, I am not going to tell our listeners where we are going on Saturday before the game, because we would like to have a nice time.
Yeah.
But we are going to be going somewhere as pillars before the game, and I organised that. So we're all going to have a good time before the game and
go for some breakfast.
Yeah, I just think that makes me feel like I have a job, I have a role, and
purpose.
I want other people to have a good time, and I want other people to feel like they're involved, especially if they haven't been in this scenario before. Like, it is tricky. So actually, if you've got something to look forward to, I think that's really nice.
Oh, it is really nice, because had you not stepped up and done that, that might not have happened.
Yeah.
And even for me, obviously, I wasn't really involved in these conversations, and I haven't really been part of the pillars.
Well, you are in the group, so
I am in the group. I've been rehabbing and not really part of it, but it's really changed my mindset going into this weekend, that I was dreading the game. I was like, I really don't know how I'm going to go to the game.
You don't want to go alone.
I'm gutted. I'm going to be sat by myself, and do I get mum and dad to come down still? I don't know what's going to happen. So now I'm absolutely buzzing for the weekend, because all it is a mindset shift.
Yeah.
I'm not playing, but I'm still there. I'm still there to support the girls. I'm there in my little group of pillars. We're going to have a nice breakfast or lunch before, and then we're going to go to the game. We're going to be sat together, and then we're going to be back with the team.
Yeah, exactly.
So even that, stepping up and doing that, hopefully that takes, like, we take that forward, and that's something that we do going forward as a pillars group. That someone's almost like the captain of the pillars group that organises something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you should. Well, I'm grateful for you, and I'm sure that the rest of the girls are as well. And you're not going to be a pillar forever. You're going to come away from this, learn so much, and we're going to find that spark back.
Yeah, 100%.
For the right time. Who needs it now anyway?
Exactly.
Who needs it now? There's a World Cup coming up.